The Introduction, Chapter 1, The Haunted House. The first morning of Anya Collins's new life began with the soft, golden light of dawn filtering through dusty, sheer curtains. As she wandered through the rooms of her grandmother's old house, her steps echoed off the wooden floors, each creak a reminder of the house's age and history. The air was filled with a musty scent of old books and time-worn furniture, a stark contrast to the clean, modern apartment she had just left behind. Anya had inherited this house after her grandmother's passing, and though it was her childhood home, it felt alien to her now. The once vibrant floral wallpaper was peeling, and cobwebs hung like delicate drapes in the corners. Her grandmother's belongings were scattered, preserved in a state of suspended animation. She stumbled upon a small, dusty box in the attic, tucked away behind old trunks and forgotten furniture. The box was ornately decorated with faded floral patterns, and a brass lock that had long since rusted. Inside, she found a collection of old letters, tied with a fraying ribbon and a sepia-toned photograph of a young man. His eyes were dark and soulful, and he had an air of melancholy about him. On the back of the photograph, a note was scrawled in elegant script, "To my dearest Ethan, forever cherished." Anya's curiosity was piqued. Who was this Ethan? And what was his connection to her grandmother? She placed the photograph gently back in the box and decided to investigate further. As she continued to explore the house, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was not alone. The house seemed to watch her, with its darkened windows and whispering walls. Chapter 2, The Ghostly Encounter. The storm rolled in that night, the sky crackling with lightning, and the wind howling like a chorus of lost souls. Anya was curled up in her grandmother's old armchair, reading a book by the dim light of a table lamp. The storm's fury made the house groan and creak, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Suddenly, a loud crash came from the attic, heart-pounding. Anya grabbed a flashlight and made her way up the creaking staircase. The wind howled through the broken window panes, and the rain battered against the roof. The attic door was ajar, swinging slightly with each gust of wind. Anya hesitated, but pushed the door open. A shadowy figure stood in the center of the room, its form barely discernible in the flickering light. The figure seemed to shimmer and waver like mist. As Anya took a cautious step forward, the figure moved towards her, and she felt a cold breath on her neck. The temperature in the room dropped, and she could see her breath in the air. The figure was Ethan. His presence was both haunting and oddly comforting. In a sudden, eerie moment, an old trunk toppled over as if pushed by an unseen force. Anya gasped and stumbled back, but Ethan's ghostly hand reached out, stopping the trunk from falling on her. His touch was cold but gentle. Who are you?" Anya's voice trembled as she looked into his sorrowful eyes. "I am Ethan," he whispered, his voice like the rustle of dry leaves. "I did not mean to frighten you." Anya's heart raced, but she felt an inexplicable pull towards him. Despite her fear, she couldn't deny the connection she felt with this ghostly figure. Part 2, The Growing Connection. Chapter 3, A Ghostly Romance. Days turned into weeks as Anya and Ethan's interactions became more frequent. She discovered an old piano in the attic covered in dust. When she played a haunting melody, Ethan appeared beside her, his form illuminated by the dim light of the attic. They spent hours together, discussing their favorite poems and sharing thoughts on literature and music. Ethan's presence became a source of comfort for Anya. He would leave small tokens of his affection. Wildflowers would appear in her room, and a faint scent of cologne would linger in the air. They communicated through notes written in old-fashioned ink, which Ethan would leave for her in hidden corners of the house. Their bond deepened as they shared intimate conversations. Ethan revealed that he had been a poet and musician in life, his soul forever entwined with the art he loved. His poetry, though melancholic, resonated with Anya on a profound level. She found solace in his words, and he found a sense of peace in her company. Anya's feelings for Ethan grew more complex. She was drawn to his ethereal beauty and the depth of his sorrow. Yet she grappled with the impossibility of their relationship. How could she love a ghost? But the moments they shared were too real and too precious to ignore. Chapter 4, The Dangers of Love. The peace between Anya and Ethan was shattered when a new presence began to make itself known a jealous spirit. This vengeful ghost, clad in a tattered wedding dress, appeared in the house with a malevolent intent. Objects flew across rooms, and the air grew heavy with an oppressive force. One evening, as Anya and Ethan shared a quiet moment in the study, the jealous spirit made its presence known. The room grew icy cold, and a gust of wind extinguished the candles. The spirit's wailing echoed through the house, filling Anya with dread. In a fit of rage, the spirit caused a bookshelf to topple, nearly crushing Anya. Ethan tried to protect Anya, but the spirit was relentless. It wanted Ethan to remain trapped in the house with it, never to find peace or love. The spirit's actions became increasingly violent, making Anya's safety a constant concern. Despite the danger, Anya's love for Ethan only grew stronger. She resolved to help him find peace, even if it meant confronting the malevolent spirit. She began researching the house's history and the legends surrounding the ghosts, determined to uncover the truth and free Ethan from his torment. Part 3, The Climax, Chapter 5, A Dangerous Betrayal. With the help of Mr. Thompson, an elderly historian with a deep knowledge of the house's past, Anya delves into the history of Ethan and the house. Mr. Thompson reveals that Ethan had been a victim of a tragic betrayal. He had been in love with a woman who promised him eternal love but ultimately deceived him, leading to his untimely death. Through a series of visions and flashbacks, Anya witnesses the betrayal firsthand. Ethan's once promised future was shattered by lies and deceit. The weight of his tragic past deepened Anya's determination to help him find peace. Anya's bravery is tested as she confronts the jealous spirit. The spirit's rage intensifies, and Anya finds herself in physical danger. The spirit tries to manipulate Anya, creating illusions and playing on her fears. Yet, Anya's love for Ethan gives her the strength to face these challenges. Chapter 6, The Final Confrontation. In a climactic battle, Anya and Ethan confront the jealous spirit. The confrontation takes place in the heart of the house, where the supernatural energy is strongest. The spirit's anger manifests in violent bursts of wind and flickering lights. Anya's love for Ethan becomes a powerful force against the spirit's hatred. She recalls the moments of peace and joy she shared with Ethan and uses those memories as a shield against the spirit's attacks. Her love and determination create a powerful barrier, protecting her from the spirit's fury. The final showdown is intense, with Ethan's ghostly presence flickering between hope and despair. As Anya fights to protect him, the spirit's power begins to wane. In a final act of courage, Anya reaches out to Ethan, using their love as a beacon of light. The jealous spirit, overwhelmed by the purity of their bond, is finally banished. Ethan's form shimmers and fades as he is released from his torment. He shares a final, heartfelt farewell with Anya, expressing his love and gratitude. Their last moments together are filled with a bittersweet sense of closure and peace. Part 4, The Resolution, Chapter 7, A Haunting Farewell. With Ethan gone, Anya is left with a profound sense of loss, but also a renewed sense of purpose. The house, once a place of fear and sorrow, now symbolizes their love and the connection they shared. Anya decides to honor Ethan's memory by writing their story, capturing the essence of their love and the trials they faced. She spends months working on the manuscript, pouring her heart into every word. The house becomes a place of reflection and healing, and Anya finds solace in preserving the memories of her time with Ethan. The book is a tribute to their love and the strength they found in each other. As Anya prepares to leave the house behind, she feels a deep connection to the past and a hopeful outlook on her future. She carries the lessons and love they shared into her new life, knowing that Ethan's presence will always be a part of her. The story ends with Anya walking away from the house, a sense of peace enveloping her. She looks back one last time, feeling Ethan's presence as a warm, reassuring glow. The love they shared, though fleeting, remains a powerful and eternal part of her life.